Welcome to the another video of our course, that is C programming. Here in this video we are going to discuss about character array and string. So a string is a sequence of character that is treated as a single data item. Any group of character defined between double quotation mark is a string. For example, all flowers are beautiful. So this sentence are defined under the double quotation mark. So any sentence which we can define inside a double quotation marks, it is treated as a string in a C programming. So for example, suppose we want to print this: all flowers are beautiful. So this is our string. So we need to print inside the double quotation mark. So any character inside the double quotation marks is known as string. So here this all flowers are beautiful is an example of a string. So in and if you want to include double quotation in a string, then we may use it within backslash as shown in below. For example, suppose we want to include this double quotation marks inside a string. So we can print this double quotation marks only when we use this backslash. So the output of this print statement is this: well done. So here we are printing this double quotation mark. So in C programming, if you want to print double quotation marks, so we need to use backslash, then we need to write the double quotation, then only we can print double quotation marks in C. So this is the introduction about string. So string is nothing but a sequence of character, and all the strings, all the characters which comes under the double quotation marks is treated as a string. So here in this video we are going to discuss about how to declare a string and how to read strings, and we are going to see what are the different types of operations that we can perform on strings. So in C programming we can perform the following common operations on character strings or character array. In C we don't have a separate data type for strings. We can create a string from our character array. So to create a string, first we need to define character array, and we can perform the following operation on character array. First one is reading of a string, that is simply reading of a string, and another one is combining two or more string. Third one is copy one string to another. Fourth one is comparison of string, check whether two string is equal or not. And another one is extracting a portion from a string, that is extracting a substring from a string, the part of string. So these are the common operations that we can perform on strings. We are going to see each types of operation in detail in our upcoming video. Here in this video we are going to see how to declare and how to read string. So to declare an initialization of string, so the general form of declaration of string variable are as follows. First we need to mention the data type, that is character, and then we need to write the string name, and then we need to mention the size. So this size determines how many characters that we want to store in a character array. So this character array is treated as a string. And so for example, here we are declaring a character array city which is capable of storing 9 different values. So here we are giving the size is 10, but here we can store only 9 character. Why? I am going to explain it in our next slide. Similarly, here we have declared another variable character array called name, and the size of name is 30. Similarly, this name can store 29 characters. So this is how we can declare a character array, and we can use to store the sequence of character in it. So one thing you need to remember, when compiler assign a character string to a character array, it automatically supply a null character. This is the symbol for null character at the end of string. So every string ends with this null character. So here we have total how many? The size of this is 10. So total it can store only 9 character, because at the end of string we have this null character. So what I mean to say is, so this is here is our simple C program code. Here we are going to declare character array, and we are doing the compile time initialization. Here the size of array is, this size of character array city is 8, and we are assigning the value GANGTOK. So size is 8, total size is 8. We are assigning 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. We are assigning only 7 character to this character array city. And as you all know, every array has its own index number and its memory block. So this is our index number. So index number always start from 0 1 2 up to size. That is, we have total 8 elements. 8 is the size of this character array. So our index number starts from 0 to 7. So this is our index number, and in each index number we can store our value. So the G will store on index number 0, A will store on index number 1, similarly N will store on index number 2, G will store on index number 3, similarly T will store on index number 4, and O will store on index number 5, and K will store on index number 6. So total we have 0 to 6, 7 elements, and at the end of the string we have this null character, which indicates which indicates the end of string. So one thing we need to remember, if the size of a string is 8, then we can store only 7 values, and at the end of this string there is a null character which will indicate the end of strings. Similarly, here we are declaring another string, that is character string, and name of this string is a string, and the size is 8. But here we are assigning only 4 characters. So this will store like this. So we have 7, index number starts from 0 to 7, that is total 8, that is size, and the value is good. So we have only 4 values. It will store on index number 0 to 3, and whatever the remaining index, it will store the value, or it will store the null character like this. So these are the null character. So if we have this good, which is only 4 characters, it will store on the 4 blocks of memory, and remaining blocks of memory will store the null character. So this is how character will store on a memory. So, and if we are declaring the string and the size of the string is 3, but here we are assigning 4 values, then it will result in compile time error, because we are declaring only 3 as a size of a string, but we are assigning 4 values. So it will generate the errors. And so this is how we can declare a string, and we can do the compile time initialization like this. Now here we are going to see how to read strings from terminal. So this is our main function. So here we are declaring 4 character array, that is name, address, and city, and size of each character array is 40 40 40. So total it can store 39 characters. Similarly, address can store 39 character and city can store characters. So now here we are printing a message, enter here name. So after saying that, user can enter the name. So here we can simply use %s to read a string from a terminal, and here we don't need to mention the address signs. Simply we can use the name of that character array. So here we are reading the name, and similarly here we are printing the message, enter here address, and now we are going to read the string, that is character array, that is address, and we are storing it as address, and here we don't need to write the address of sign. Similarly we can read another, and here we are printing this string, and that is name and address. So you have entered, this is the format specifier, and here we have this format specifier, and we are printing name and address here. So this is how we can read string from a terminal using scanf, and inside scanf we need to mention the percentile as a format specifier, and we don't need to mention the address of operator while reading the string. So this is how we can read the character array, or we can call it as string. So now we are going to see this example, another example where we are going to read a line from a terminal. So here we are going to use do while loop, and inside do while loop we have this statement, this function getChar. So this getChar is a function which can read a character from a string, and here we are declaring a PRA character array. The size of this is 40, and here we are declaring C as a character variable, and here we are declaring an integer variable, and we have assigned value 0 to that variable, and here simply we are printing the message, and here inside the do while loop we are reading the variable character. So this getChar is a function which is capable of reading a character from terminal, and we are storing this character in variable C, and here we are assigning this value C, character C, to a paragraph array, PRI. So the index of I is 0, so it will store on 0 C, and it will I++. Similarly it will read the character where size is not equals to 40, and whenever we enter the new line character, it will our control of loop, our condition will be false, and the control goes out of the loop. So this is the simple example where we can read different types of characters using while loop. So I would like to request you to please do this two practicals and try to observe what are the main difference between these two program. I'm going to send the program code, and I would like to request you to please do this two program as a practical and try to observe the difference between these two program code, and I will try to explain what are the main difference between these two program that I have shown in this video. So thank you for now. See you in next.